Alright guys, so this is a quick video of how the controller system works. And so you can see is a computer, and inside this is the PC. This is the main controller. This is the what we call the Jace. This is where all the information pretty much is comes in, and it gets pulled in from the other controllers that are inside the building. It's a big transformer in here, the UPS, and this is a control panel, and this wire is connected to this is just the external drive to save some memory on the PC. And if you look at this is our actual screen here, and we usually use IP. We usually use internet, and this is the IP address up here for this Jace in the back. So if you see is 168.3.149, and that's what the IP address is for this guy. So it's connected through IP. And this is the graphics, just regular graphics. Here's the air handler, here's a fan, here's our return supply fan, return fan, temperatures. You can set this to override on the load if you want to increase the load or not. You can set a lot of things in here. So this is the basic view. It tells you what units, all the buildings that are in this network. So here's another air handler. This is the basic view, like I said. See how the graphics, it's running. Let it load up right now. It'll give you the actual data. This down here is the temperature and the time, the temperature. So I can check if at 1 in the morning what the temperature was, etc. Supply fan start stop. The status is on. Start stop meaning that it's calling for it to be on, and it's actually on, so it's normal, no alarm. This is a really basic one. Outside air temperature 60 degrees. Back over here. Let's look at the chiller. Let's go back in. Let's go home and look at the chill water system. And this is the chill water system. This is the chiller. So right now the pumps are running. So we got pump 1, pump 2 running. Supply water temperature is 45. On the chill water supply and return, this is the condensing water. I'm sorry, 6559 is pretty cold. It shouldn't be this cold. So we're gonna have to check out the pumps and see why they're running right now. So this is supplying water to the building, and this is the water coming back from the building into the chiller. So return temperature is 46, supply temperature is 45, and this is the chiller graphics. So this is what a normal operator would see when he opens up the controller system, the HMI, and this is what a controls technician wants to see. So we close this down, go to this is the FX server, this is the actual DDC program. So this is it right here, and it's a little different. I mean, we still got the graphics, but what we want to look into, it's a little different. We want to make sure that all the points and everything is working the right way. So these are your channels. These are your drivers. These are your channels, line 1, line 2. So I'm going to open on line 2 and look at my air handlers. here 101. So if you double click, it'll bring you to this graphic right here. But if you right click on it, it'll bring out this menu. Then you want to open up the programming panel, the programming file, which is going to be a Distech controller. We'll see right now. It's loading up. So it does take a while for it to load up, but here we have it. It's this one, the Distech ECG GFX program. And this is pretty much the back end on the controller. This is the program. This is where all the program lives. These little blocks are function blocks. This is the hardware inputs, and these are the outputs over here on the on the side. Here are the outputs right here, digital outs, etc. These are all the outs. These are all the commands going out, and you have a lot of these are all the network variables. These means that these are not physical connections. They're through the network. You got occupation, command, cooling, set points, etc., room temperatures. So outside air humidity, these are network variables also. These are data given through the network. It's not a physical sensor. It's a sensor somewhere, but it gets its information through the network. So it shares this sensor through the network, and it shares it with other controllers pretty much. These ones right here, these hardware inputs, are just for the controller. So these are all the alarms over here, and this is the logic. This is what what makes the controller run. This is the sequence. This is the set points. So if you go in here, you go into another sheet, and it gives you all the set points and all the logic. And it's pretty lengthy, as you can see. It's a lot. And so this guy sitting somewhere in the computer creating all these programs, and all we do is just grab them and customize them and use them. So go back to the logic. So fan start stop, this is the logic for the fan to start stop. Start delay, fan enable, so it receives an enable right here in the corner, and it goes through a delay, then it goes through a switch, and it makes sure that there's no emergency here, smoke detector, emergency, and if there's not, it'll permit the switch, and it starts the fan. See, supply fan command. Cooling, heating load. If you go into this terminal load, it gets a room temperature, all these sensors right here on the side, space temperature, supplier temperature sensor, etc. And then these are the commands: heating, cooling, HVAC mode, etc. If you go in there, you can see all the logic, the main heating logic. It's a lot. This is just for the heating, and this is the backup cooling and heating logic. HVAC mode, what mode you want it to be in. Fan, you can economizing fan, HVAC mode. I don't know what HVAC mode is. It's part disabled, start stop, fan enabled, etc. So this is the programming part of it. Like I said, space temperature. So yeah, yep, that's it. And I'll show you what a controller looks like. So all this goes to a controller, and I'll show you what that controller looks like. So in the last video I posted the same controller. This is ECL 650. It's a Distech. This are controls, and this is the controller. And all the points that you see are the ones that are here. These are physical wires sensors. These are all the outputs: start, stop, speed, etc. And it says outputs UO7 universal outputs. And the bottom are all the inputs. These are all the sensors that come back from the chiller, etc. And these are the commands. These are the start, stops, and all of that. So if we go in there, we go in here. It's pretty much the same thing as we were looking at on the screen. You have all the condensing water supply temperature, return temperature, alarms, set points, etc. So all the inputs are right here. If you go out, you see the outputs. I mean that these are the commands. See, chiller enable is on. Chill water pump start stop on. You'll see chill water speed 56% on the speed on the VFD. So the two pumps that we saw on the screen that were on, they're right here, they're on. So it's just an extension. This is the screen back there is an extension of this, pretty much. All right.